Okay, so come to a comfortable seat on your mat. If you have a blanket or towel close by, it might come in handy this morning, as we'll be doing a few things on our knees. And if you're on a hard floor, it's nice to have that extra padding. So we're going to start with a mudra. I often like to bring mudras into the practice. So this is called Omni Mudra. And if you bring your left hand, I won't be mirroring you for this part of it. Bring your left hand in front of your low belly and then make a fist, or like with your thumb up, like you're hitchhiking, and just rest it in your palm. I see my white shirt makes it kind of hard to see. So we're just going to hold that in front of our belly, this Omni Mudra, which symbolizes creating power to make change, or building strength to accept change. So change can be a little scary, and sometimes change is forced upon us. And so this is a place, this is a mudra to cultivate that self-confidence and strength to move through change gracefully, or to make a positive change. And we hold it here in front of our solar plexus, this place where, this energy center where we connect to our inner fire. And same thing, it's a place where we build that drive and that determination to transform gracefully. Okay, so with that, draw the shoulders back and down, sit up tall, close your eyes. And with your next inhale, just feel the side ribs expand and feel the earth energy ground you through the sits bones. And with your next exhale, start to concentrate all your awareness and energy at your core, this Manipura Chakra, or the solar plexus. And again, this is where that inner fire resides. So if you can imagine a small flame at this place just below and behind the navel. This fire that gives us strength and confidence. And with each inhale, let that breath fuel the fire, allowing it to grow bigger and brighter and more powerful. And with each exhale, the fire transforms and destroys all that is unhealthy or unnecessary in our life. Fear and anxiety turn to ash, which creates space for something new, something better. And try to keep this inner fire burning throughout your practice this morning. And with your next inhale, gently open the eyes and reach your arms up towards the sky, finding length through the front of the body. As you exhale, we're going to bring fists to our hips, and we're going to draw navel to spine and kind of curl the whole body in. And then inhale again, lift the arms towards the sky, lengthen through the front body. And exhale, fists to hips, navel to spine, curl in. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, curl in. Do that a few more times, connecting the breath to the movement, building a little heat on the exhale. And one last time, big breath in, reach up. Exhale, bring it in, and then hold here. So keep the navel drawing to the spine, fists at the hips, and then keep the ankles crossed, but lift your feet out in front of you. Okay. And then bring your hands to the mat behind you. Keep your heart open, shoulders drawing back. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, we're going to take both knees to one side. Try to keep the feet off the ground and bring your knees as close to the floor as possible. And then inhale back to center. Exhale, take the knees to the other side. So working with the core a lot today. You may be happy or disappointed to hear that. It's important that we have a strong core, and especially when we're dealing with change. And this is a nice twist as well. All right, pause here, and then keep the ankles crossed still on your next exhale. We're going to extend the feet out in front of us, and then lift the arms up towards the sky. As you exhale, we're going to reach out through the arms, keep the spine long as you hinge at the hips, and fold forward over your crossed legs. So a little different than a traditional forward fold. This brings the stretch a little more into the outer legs and the muscles around the IT band. Right, with your next inhale, reach out through the arms, ground the sits bones, engage your core, and then rise back up, reaching towards the sky. As you exhale, take the hands to the mat behind you, and you can first notice which ankle was crossed on top, and then uncross the feet. Bring the feet hip width apart, hands a little bit behind the hips. Okay. On an inhale, we're going to lift to a reverse table. So pressing the hips up towards the sky. So this gets into the shoulders a little bit, maybe into the quads. Either gaze up at the ceiling or down towards your knees, so we're not dropping the head all the way back. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, bring the hips back to the floor. Good. And then we're going to lift the feet. We're going to cross the other ankle on top, if you can remember the way you had it initially. And then we're going to do that twist again. So exhale, take the knees to one side. Feet stay off the ground. Inhale back to center, lifting through the heart. Exhale to the other side. And just continue side to side with your breath. This core work will help with the lower back too. I know we had some requests for lower back stretches, which we will do. But it's always good to have a strong core to help support the back. All right, last time here. And then inhale to center. Good, same thing, keep the ankles crossed. Extend the legs out in front of you. Reach the arms up towards the sky. And as you exhale, hinge at the hips, lengthen out through the upper body, and just fold over the crossed legs. Let the forehead drop towards the shins. You can bend the knees here if that feels more comfortable. And with your next inhale, reach long through the arms, ground the sits bones, engage your core as you rise back up. And exhale, release the hands down. Good. Uncross the ankles, bring the feet to the mat, hip width apart, hands a little bit behind the hips. I prefer fingers pointing towards my feet. Some people prefer the fingers pointing away from the body. So your choice. On a breath in, we're going to lift the hips, coming into this reverse table. Hopefully stacking knees over ankles and shoulders over wrists. Okay. Pressing the hips up towards the sky, gazing up at the ceiling or down towards the knees. Take one more deep breath in. And exhale, lower down. Good. From here, we'll come to our hands and knees. So coming into table, again, if you have a hard floor that you're on and you want to bring some padding under the knees, I always like to. Okay, and then stacking shoulders over wrists with the fingers spread really wide. Stacking hips over the knees and flattening the tops of the feet to the floor if you can. Okay. On your next exhale, draw the low belly in, tuck the tailbone, tuck your chin. Feel the shoulder blades broadening, back body arching towards the sky. And then inhale, start to lift the tailbone. The belly drops, the shoulders drop back towards the hips, and we gaze upward. And then just continue moving through cat-cow at your own pace, connecting the movement to the breath, moving mindfully. Each time you exhale, drawing that navel in, and again, continuing to fuel that inner fire, building that heat, that strength, and that power. And then if there's something of another kind of movement that feels better to you, feel free to move a little organically. So maybe the shoulders and the hips want to participate. Maybe you want to do some barrel rolls. Good, and then coming back to center, come into your table position. On an inhale, we're going to lift and extend the left leg back behind. Flex the foot, okay? And then lift and extend the right arm forward. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Draw the navel towards the spine. Keep the lifted toes turning down towards the floor. And then bring your awareness again to that solar plexus, that inner fire, and just use that power and that energy to extend the lifted limbs. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, bring elbow and knee underneath you, curling in, and then inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, curl in. Inhale, extend. Exhale, curl in. Inhale, extend, and then hold here. Again, find that strength to sustain this pose. And then either stay here, or if you like, you can bend the lifted leg, maybe reach back with the right hand towards the foot, or even capturing the foot. And maybe gazing over your right shoulder. And then inhale, release the foot, extend through the lifted limbs, and then exhale back to table. Tuck your toes under, sit back on your heels. We're just going to give that left wrist a little break, okay? So do some circles with the wrists. One direction and then the other. Also stretching our feet here, which I'm sure is quite obvious. All right, bring your hands back to the mat, come back to table again. Okay. And then when you're ready, we're going to lift and extend the right leg and the left arm. So again, take a moment here before we start to move to find that power and to lengthen out from that center through the lifted limbs. So shoulders draw away from the ears, navel draws towards the spine. We're actively pressing into the floor with the right hand and the left shin. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, curl in. Elbow and knee coming in underneath you, and then inhale, Stretch it out. Exhale, curl in. Inhale, extend. Exhale, curl in. Inhale, extend, and hold here. So again, just focus on that inner power and strength. If you want to take it a step further, you can bend the lifted leg, reach back to or towards the foot. If you can capture the foot, pressing the foot up and away from the body. Stay connected to the breath. With your next inhale, release the foot, extend long, and then exhale. Bring the elbow and knee, or sorry, the hand and knee back to the mat, and then tuck the toes under again. We're going to come back into this toe squat. Good. And then bring your hands together in front of your heart. And then extend your hands forward, turn the palms down towards the floor, and then bring the back of the hands together. And then keeping the back of the hands gently pressing into one another, you're going to turn the fingers in towards your heart, and then up towards the sky, palms open and reach out in front of you. And then turn the palms down, bring the back of the hands together, and again, bring the fingers in and open the palms. Just do that a few times to help stretch the wrists. And then we'll reverse it. Good. And then bring the hands back to the floor, untuck the toes, maybe tap them out a little bit behind you. Feels good. All right. And then take the knees wide, toes together. We're going to sit back on the heels for our extended child's pose. So bring your forehead to rest on the floor. Keep the arms extending far out in front of you. And just breathe into that low back. On your next inhale, we're going to start to make our way into downward facing dog. So tuck the toes under, keep the knees deeply bent for the first few breaths, press the tailbone back, and maybe shift the hips side to side a few times. Just finding some wiggle in this pose since it's most likely your first down dog of the morning. When you feel like you've wiggled enough, you can start to make your way into the full pose, which means straightening the legs to some extent, but always keeping some kind of bend in the knees, and just being really active through the hands, and drawing the shoulders away from the ears, and then pretend to drag the hands towards one another. So that gives us a little more strength in the arms, a little more space between the arms and the ears. And then just press your heart back towards your thighs. With your next inhale, gaze towards the top of your mat, and on your exhale, make your way forward, coming into Uttanasana, forward fold, feet hip width apart. Let's take ragdoll arms here. Okay, so finding, again, some kind of bend in the knees. It could be little or it could be a lot, it's your choice. Tuck the chin, let the head feel heavy. Maybe sway a little side to side. And then coming to center, release your hands. Bend the knees deeper, okay? On an inhale, we're gonna lift halfway, but this time we're gonna extend the arms out to the side in a T from our shoulders. So as you come into that half lift, the legs straighten some more. You just wanna start with the bent knees and then press into the ground and hold here in this half lift with your torso parallel to the ground. Draw the shoulders away from the ears and really reach out from left fingertips to right. So again, building that fire in the belly, right? All right, on your next inhale, again, press into the feet, engage your core. This time, come all the way to stand and reach your arms towards the sky. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Again, inhale again, reach your arms up. Okay, this time we're gonna capture the right wrist with the left hand. Reach up, and then as you exhale, reach over to the left. So finding a lateral stretch. Keep your heart open. Keep both feet firmly planted. And then inhale, reach up to center. As you exhale, now take your right hand and capture your left wrist. Reach long and tall, and then fold over to the right. Lateral stretch on the other side. Don't let that top shoulder come forward. We want to keep it back and the heart open. And then inhale, reach up. Exhale, cactus your arms, lift through the heart. Pause here for a moment, draw your tailbone down, press into the feet, squeeze the low ribs together, and then inhale, find a little more lift through the front body. Good. On your next inhale, reach up. As you exhale, we're gonna come back to that half lift with the shoulders, or the arms extended out from the shoulders. So micro bend in the knees here, lengthening from the tailbone to the crown of the head and right fingertips to left fingertips. Take one more deep breath in. Exhale, release back to your forward fold. All right, bend your knees a lot so that you can plant your hands on the mat by your feet. And then step both feet back to plank. So shoulders stack over the wrists. Your feet are hip width apart. Make sure your fingers are spread wide. Wrap the shoulder blades onto the back. Navel to spine. Squeeze the sits bones together. Feel how strong this pose is. If you need to, you can drop a knee or drop both knees. Listen to your body. I really like this pose because I think it's really hard to injure ourselves in this pose, but it pushes us, it challenges us in a safe way. All right, take one more deep breath in. As you exhale, lift the tailbone, press back to downward facing dog. Feel free to wiggle it out for a couple of breaths. All right, with your next inhale, lift the right leg towards the sky. As you exhale, we're going to shift forward, bring right elbow to the right knee to the outside of the right elbow, shoulders stack over the hips, and then inhale, press up and back to three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee to left elbow, so twisting as you come forward, and then inhale, press back. Exhale, bring knee to nose, shift forward so the shoulders stack over the wrists, create space between you and the mat, and with your next exhale, as gently as you can, bring that foot between the hands. Sometimes we need to help it up there. So, hands, fingertips on the floor, shoulders stacked over the wrists. Just taking a moment here in our lunge. So squeeze the inner thighs together. Try to make sure that this right knee is stacked over the ankle. We're actively pressing back through that back heel. Okay, lifting this left thigh towards the sky. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, drop your back knee to the mat. Again, you might want to pat it here. And then on your next breath in, we're going to sweep the arms up towards the sky. So we're lengthening through the front body, stretching the left hip flexor. And then we're gonna flow. It's gonna be balancing and core strengthening. Okay. So deep breath in. As you exhale, you're bringing fists to hips. Shift the hips back, straighten the front leg, and bow forward. Inhale, sweep the fingertips across the floor as you bend through that front knee again and reach towards the sky. Exhale, engage that core, build that fire. Straighten the front leg, bow forward. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, squeeze in and bow forward. Inhale, reach up. This time we'll hold here. Exhale, draw the navel in, bringing hands to heart center. We're going to move into a prayer twist here. So we're going to take left elbow to the right knee if you can. If that's difficult, you can bring the hands to the thighs to help you with that twist. Okay. Otherwise, bring hands to prayer. As you exhale, the navel draws in and we turn our sternum towards our thumbs. If you want a little more challenge this morning, you could tuck the back toes under and lift the back knee. That's an option, not a requirement. And then wherever you are, just continue to breathe. Continue to build that inner fire. I feel like we're kind of approaching a whole new world, a whole new way of living. And so it can be difficult if we're not open to that change. Good. Inhale, bring the hands back to center. Exhale, take the hands to the mat, tuck the back toes under, lift the back knee. With your next exhale, step the front foot back, coming into plank. Pause here, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, we're going to drop knees, chest, and chin. So elbows hug into the body, the butt stays in the air for a moment, and then we untuck the toes and come all the way to the floor. Hands should be on the mat next to your low ribs, elbows hugging in. Forehead rests on the mat. Lift the shoulders away from the floor. Engage the legs, press the tops of the feet into the mat, and inhale, lift the head and chest for cobra. And then exhale, release back down. So we're going to do that twice more. Inhale, draw the heart forward to create length as you lift the head and chest. Again, elbows hug in, shoulders back and down. Exhale, release. One more time, inhale, lift. This time, hold here as you exhale. Hold here as you inhale. And exhale, release back down. Inhale, push up through table. And bring the hips to heels, coming back into your extended child's pose. Forehead rests on the mat, breathe into the low back. Maybe wiggle the hips a bit side to side if that calls to you. On your next inhale, start to make your way back to downward facing dog. Lifting the tailbone up and back, lengthening through the spine, grounding into the palms. On your next breath in, we're going to lift the left leg high. Exhale, bring left knee to left elbow as you shift forward and stack the shoulders over the wrists. Inhale, press up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee to right elbow for a twist. Inhale, press up and back. Exhale, knee to nose. Stack the shoulders over the wrists. Pause here. Create space between you and the floor. That someday will be helpful when with your next exhale, we bring the foot forward. Okay. All right, so finding your lunge on this side, left knee stacking over the left ankle. Back leg is active. We're engaging the inner thighs. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, drop that back knee. Inhale, reach the arms towards the sky. Creating length through the front body. Grounding through that front foot. It's going to help with the stability, especially as we start to move. Okay, so deep inhale. As you exhale, bring fists to hips. Start to straighten the front leg and bow forward. Inhale, raising them out with your fingertips, bending that front knee and lifting the arms towards the sky. Exhale, press into that front foot, draw belly towards the spine and bow forward. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, straighten the leg and bow forward. Inhale, reach up. This time hold here. And then exhale, bring the hands back. Bring hands to heart center. Almost forgot our twist. All right, deep breath in here. Draw the low belly in, and then bring right elbow to the left knee if you can. And then press the palms together. Open your chest towards your thumbs for your prayer twist. Bring the focus back to the breath. Finding some space and expansion with each breath in. Building that fire. Finding a little more strength and power with each breath out. Possibly lifting that back knee if you'd like. And on your next inhale, bring the hands back to heart center. Exhale, take your hands to the mat. If the back knee is still down, go ahead and lift the back knee and then step back to plank. Pause here in plank. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out to build more strength and power and confidence. One more deep breath in. Exhale, you can lower down knees, chest, chin like we have been, or shift your shoulders forward, bend the elbows straight back, engage the core, lower halfway, and then drop the knees, drop the hips, and we'll all meet either in cobra or up dog. And just hold it for a breath or two. On your next exhale, make your way through table and back to extended child's pose. Hips to heels again, forehead rests on the floor. Maybe wiggle the hips a little side to side. And this is a very heating practice, so if you ever find yourself feeling a little overheated, try to exhale through the mouth. That helps to cool the breath, to cool the body. Okay, when you're ready, let's make our way back into downward facing dog. On your next breath in, gaze forward, and as you exhale, step, walk, or float to the top of your mat, coming into Uttanasana, standing forward, fold, feet hip width apart. Bend your knees deeper, and let's interlace the hands behind the back. Let's bring in the shoulder stretch into the practice. So lifting the hands away from the body as much as is comfortable for you. Keep the chin tucked, the head heavy, the
And hollow out the belly, so draw that navel in. And breathe. And then release the hands down. On your next inhale, we're going to press into the feet, come to that half lift, reaching the arms out from the shoulders. So the head is an extension of the spine, right? You could draw a line from your tailbone to the crown of your head. Take another deep breath in. Exhale. And with your next inhale, press into the feet. Rise all the way to stand. Reach for the sky. And then exhale, cactus the arms, lift through the heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, come back to that half lift. Arms out from the shoulders. So make sure there's a little bit of bend in the knees. Okay. Navel is drawing towards the spine. On your next inhale, we're going to bend the knees a little deeper. Reach your arms forward. Bring your palms to touch. Hold here as you breathe in. And then exhale, release to the forward fold. Okay, bend your knees, plant your hands, step back to plank. Shoulders stack over the wrists. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, either drop the right knee or just turn both heels down to the right. So we're going to come into a side plank. So if you drop the knee, kick that right foot behind you a little bit for a little extra support. And then we're stacking the arms. As you breathe in, lift that left side body towards the sky. Maybe even reaching the arm overhead to create this arch throughout that left side body. Take another deep breath in here. Exhale, return to plank. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, we'll switch sides. So left knee down, or drop both heels down to your left. If the knee's down, take the left foot behind you for extra support. And then inhale, reach your arms towards the sky. Draw the shoulder blades away from your ears. Inhale to lift that right side body towards the sky. Maybe reaching the right arm overhead, creating this beautiful arch. And on your next exhale, we'll return to plank. And then drop the knees. This time, keep the knees together. Bring hips to heels and bring the hands back by your feet. Forehead to the floor for embryo, slightly different version of that child's pose. And if your wrists are feeling cranky, pretend you're holding tennis balls and just squeeze the tennis balls and then release. Squeeze and release. On your next inhale, walk the hands forward again, and then start to make your way back into downward facing dog. Pressing the hips up and back. On your next inhale, let's lift the right leg high. Exhale as slowly and gracefully as you can. Bring that right foot all the way forward between the hands for your lunge. Find that strong foundation through the legs. Okay. Engage the inner thighs. Press into the feet. And on your inhale, rise up to crescent lunge. So we're keeping that back heel lifted. Okay, but then sink down into the hips a little bit more. Keep those inner thighs engaged. Shoulders relaxed away from the ears. So we're going to move through a balanced flow again, okay? So it's helpful to find a drishti, a focal point, somewhere on the floor in front of you. Let's take a deep breath in. As you exhale, we're going to step into that front foot, bring the fists to the hips, engage that core and lift your left leg. Inhale, we're going to step it back again and reach the arms towards the sky. You can take a shorter stance if that's helpful. Exhale, engage the core, bring fists to hips as you lift the left knee. Inhale, step it back. Okay, one more time. Exhale, lift that front knee. This time, keep the knee lifted. Inhale, reach your arms towards the sky. Straighten the lifted leg. Good, and then as you exhale, you're gonna bring that left foot to the mat in front of you. We're gonna shift our weight to the left foot, coming onto the toes of the back foot. On your next exhale, keep reaching out, maybe lifting those back toes off the floor if you feel stable. Or maybe you just play with keeping the foot nice and close, right? If it's too much on your arms, you can bring hands to the hips or hands to the heart. And just take it as far as you feel comfortable. Challenge yourself, but not to the point of breaking. Use that inner fire, that power and strength to bring you into this pose to a depth where you can feel transformation happening. And then on your next inhale, step the back foot down and we come back to standing. Good. If you're not still at the top of your mat, go ahead and come to the top of your mat. All right, inhale, sweep the arms up towards the sky. Exhale, hinge halfway, arms extending from the shoulders. Bend the knees at least a little to help support the low back. Inhale, bend the knees a little more, bring the palms together out in front of you. Exhale to the forward fold. Bend the knees, plant your hands. Step both feet back to plank. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, drop the right knee. Find your side plank. Maybe you choose not to drop the right knee. Maybe you choose to come into the full plank. Your choice. Exhale back to plank. Pause here as you inhale. Exhale, we switch sides. And on your next exhale, we return to plank. Drop your knees. Keep the knees close. Bring hips to heels for embryo pose. Hands come back by the feet. Forehead rests on the mat. Close your eyes. Breathe into the low back. And maybe squeeze those imaginary tennis balls. Whatever you need, okay? And if your breath got a little labored, take this opportunity to try to slow it down and smooth it out. Again, if you're feeling really hot, try to exhale through your mouth. On your next inhale, walk your hands forward. Start to make your way into downward facing dog. Take a few breaths in your down dog, feeling that stretch through the low back. On your next inhale, we're going to lift the left leg towards the sky. Exhale, bring knee to nose. Shift forward to stack your shoulders over your wrists. And then step the foot forward between the hands with as much grace as possible. Okay. And then find that strong foundation. Ground into that front foot. Squeeze the inner thighs together. And when you're ready, on your inhale, we're going to sweep the arms up towards the sky to find Crescent Lunge. So back heel is lifted, okay? Shoulders are stacked over the hips. So squeeze the little ribs together, draw the tailbone down, keep that back leg active. Find your focal point, your drishti. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, we're going to step into the front foot, bring fists to hips as you lift the left knee. Inhale, slowly step it back to your crescent lunge. Exhale, lift the front knee. Inhale, step it back. Last time, exhale, lift that right knee. Hold here. Inhale, sweep the arms towards the sky and extend the right leg forward. With your next exhale, you're going to step the right foot to the floor, a foot or so in front of the left, and then we're going to shift our weight into that right foot. So we just come onto the toes of the back foot. Arms can stay up alongside the ears, or if it feels better for your body, you can bring hands to the hips or hands to the heart, okay? And then try not to let the hips open as you start to move into this pose. And again, you control the depth of this pose. You're always welcome to use a wall or a chair or table or something close to you if you need to. Just take it as far as feels comfortable, maybe not too comfortable, but safe. If you can still breathe freely, that's a good thing. If your breathing is restricted, maybe come out of it a little bit. And again, you can exhale through the mouth to help cool the body. And then on your next breath in, we'll start to bring both feet back to the floor again and step the feet hip width apart at the top of your mat for Tadasana. Good, nice job, guys. This is a kind of a challenging class, lots of balancing and core work. So take a deep breath in, sweep the arms up towards the sky. Exhale, cactus the arms. Draw the tailbone down, squeeze the lower ribs together, and then lift the entire front body together. Good, inhale, reach up. Exhale, come to that half lift. Some kind of bend in the knees, right? Arms extended out from the shoulders, navel to the spine. Inhale, bend the knees deeper, bring the palms to touch out in front of you. Again, always be mindful if you have shoulder issues, you can just keep the hands on the hips. And then exhale, release to the forward fold. And just take a couple breaths here. You can take any arm variation you want. So maybe ragdoll, maybe you want to interlace the hands behind the back again. Maybe you just want to let the arms hang, and maybe you choose to move or you remain still. It's completely up to you. All right, now heel toe your feet out a little wider apart, toes turning out, and we're gonna drop down into Malasana squat. Okay, I know this isn't comfortable for everyone. A few things you can try is one, you can roll up your blanket if you have one and place it under your heels. If you have a block, you're welcome to sit on that block, okay? And if none of that's working for you, just come to a comfortable seated position. So we're gonna twist a little bit in this pose, okay? So elbows pressing gently into the knees to keep the hips open. Bring your hands as much in front of your heart as you can. Draw the shoulders back. Okay, now take your right hand to the floor, keeping the arm on the inside of that knee, and then cactus your left arm. Open it and look up towards the sky, towards that left hand. If you want to, you could take a half bind here, wrapping that left arm around behind the back, or maybe even a full bind for a few of us, okay? And again, you can do this
from a seated pose too, if the squat is too much. Good, and then inhale back to center. We'll take it to the other side. So left hand to the floor on the inside of the left leg. Inhale and cactus that right arm, opening your chest for this twist. You can either stay here just gazing at that right hand, or you can come into the half or maybe the full bind. And then we'll release, bring the hands back to center. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, we're going to come to seated. Okay. So let's sit with the legs extended out in front. Just do some ankle circles after being in that squat. That feels good. And then reverse the direction. Good. And then find your sits bones. Feet hip width apart. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. As you exhale, just stay here and draw the shoulders down away from your ears. And then press into the sits bones, reach the crown of the head a little higher. Take a big belly breath in, so let the belly inflate. As you exhale, you're going to draw the low belly in and up as you lift the right heel off the floor. So we're trying to use the core as much as possible and not so much the hip flexors. Okay, keep pressing out through that heel, keep the spine tall. Exhale, release the heel down, find length through the upper body again. All right, so same thing with the other side. We're going to take a deep belly breath in. And then on your exhale, draw the low belly in and up. Use those core muscles to lift that left leg and press out through the heel. Make sure you're not starting to lean back around. Keep the heart lifted. And exhale, release. Inhale, sit up tall. As you exhale, draw that low belly in and lift both feet off the floor. Just kidding. If you can do it, great. I can't. Maybe just activating the legs and lifting the heels without the legs works. Good. And then we're going to reach forward and we're going to really enjoy this forward fold. So just take a few breaths here with the forehead dropping towards the shins, maybe the eyes closed. And then inhale, reach forward and rise up. Good. And then exhale, release the hands down to the mat. Okay, bend the knees, bring the feet in a little bit. Keep them pretty far out in front of you. Okay, almost to the point where they want to lift off of the mat. And then just sit up tall, reach your arms forward, palms face up. Draw the shoulders back and down. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, we're going to lower halfway down, and then we're going to pause. Okay, hold here, breathe in, smile, because you love this. It's so much fun. Exhale, lower down another half. Pause. You know, you hate me, don't hate me. Inhale, smile. Exhale, another half. Pause, maybe shake and tremble a little bit. It's part of the pose. And then with your next exhale, as gracefully as you can, lower all the way down to the floor. Once you're there, reach your arms out overhead. Find a really long stretch from fingertips to toe tips, maybe walking out the hips a little bit. And then as you exhale, draw the knees in for a much needed hug. And rock a little side to side. So as your knees rock left, take your gaze to the right. And as your knees rock right, gaze left. Okay, and then release the feet down. Knees bent, heels just out of reach of the fingertips. Feet and knees hip width apart. So we're going to do a little bridge work just to help stretch the front of the body after all of that core work. Okay, so arms on the mat by your sides. Roll the shoulder blades underneath you. On your exhale, first flatten the low back to the mat. Just draw navel to spine and that low back to the floor. And then inhale, press into the mat, lift the hips towards the sky. Keep the knees from flaring out, so press into the big toes. And then on your exhale, lower back down. So we're just going to move dynamically for a few breaths before we hold the pose. Okay. So pause for a moment, take a deep breath in, and then exhale. Draw low back to the floor, and then lift the tailbones. Peel your spine off the mat. Lift the hips, and exhale, lower down slowly, one vertebra at a time. Pause and breathe in. And then one more time, exhale, flatten the low back, and then lift the tailbone. Peel the spine off the floor, hips rise up towards the sky, and this time we'll hold here. So maybe roll the shoulders even more underneath you, perhaps clasping the hands. Try not to turn to the side to look at your screen. It could be injurious for your neck, so just be mindful of the neck. Keep pressing into the big toe mounds. Chest moves towards the chin. Gently press the back of the head into the floor to open the front of the throat slightly. Make sure there's plenty of space behind the neck as well, between the neck and the ground. Take one more deep breath in. Maybe lift the hips a little higher. And then as you exhale, take the shoulders out from underneath you. And again, lower down nice and slow. Once you reach the mat, cactus your arms, walk your feet mat width apart, and just windshield wiper your knees side to side. Good, and then come to center. You can bring the feet in a little closer. On your inhale, lift your hips, scoot them 2 inches to the right, and then take your knees over to the left. You can wrap them if you want, or just stack the knees, okay? And just pause here, maybe close the eyes, breathe into this twist, try to let go of the effort and just relax in this pose. We can start to let our fire cool. With your next inhale, come back to center. Feet on the mat, take your hips 2 inches to the left, and then take the knees to the right. So again, feel free to modify this twist. Maybe you prefer to wrap the legs or do something different. Just find a really yummy twist that feels good in your body, and then see if you can just relax into it. With your next inhale, come back to center. Hug the knees in tight towards your chest again. Lift your head up, curling into a little ball, squeezing in tight. And then inhale, release, and stretch out for Shavasana. So take up a little space here. Turn your palms up towards the sky as you roll the shoulders underneath the body. Close your eyes. And once you're settled in, maybe, set yourself up with some props or something to support your Shavasana. And once you feel settled and comfortable, take a breath in. And then exhale as long and slow as possible. empty completely before taking your next breath in. Do at least 3 of those really long exhales before you just settle in without any effort. Just allow the body and the mind to be still, the breath to be peaceful. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Start to introduce small movements back into the body by wiggling your fingers and your toes, your hands and your feet. Gently rock the head side to side, open your mouth and wiggle your jaw. And then reach your arms overhead, finding one more long stretch, lengthening through one side and then the other, and then both. And then draw the knees in again, give yourself a hug. And then as you're ready, roll to one side in the fetal position. Take a few moments there on your side. Savoring these last few moments of your practice, this time that you set aside today to nurture your body, mind, and spirit. When you're ready, keep your eyes closed. Slowly start to make your way back to seated. We'll meet with hands at heart center in Anjali Mudra. And I'm going to unmute everyone. If you don't mind, I'd love for us to have a collective Om. You can join in if you'd love, if you'd rather sit in silence. Okay, too. Okay. So all take a deep breath in. Thank you all so much for showing up today, for spending your time with me this morning. Have a wonderful weekend. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
So wonderful to have you here.
Melissa. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
See you guys.
Sorry, I